Good morning and welcome to part 3 of Wary's special post-narration tacular. Today in the spectacular, I, I get really extra lost in the Pokemon Mansion, but it'll only be for a couple more minutes, and I'm going to be just sitting here being like, what the crap is going on? I don't even understand what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm so lost. And then I sit there and whine about it in the middle of that battle instead of actually fighting it. But then I realize my mistake and start doing things slightly faster again. But now I think yeah. I'm like, what do I do? Isn't there a place that I was supposed to be at? And then I'm pretty sure that I jump right down back the same. Yeah, I jump right back down the same spot. Although I do end up in a slightly different place because I jumped down the left part of it instead of the right part of it. And I'm forgetting the fact that it is actually the entirely other area of jump downness that I can get down. I'm like, hey, it's a wheezing, and yeah, and then I'm like, wait a minute, do I know how to do Eradicate voice? But I guess I do, but maybe I'm just imagining things or giving myself too much credit for it. Maybe his voice is kind of like, despite never learning rage, I'm still Eradicate. And then I am like, oh crap, he only has 2 HP. Let's use a Hyper Potion. Because I'm actually reasonable enough to buy and use a bunch of Hyper Potions and full heals and stuff. But then I'm like, yeah, I'm also running out of PP, so I wish I would have bought some ethers or elixirs, whichever is better. And then Top says, well, you can't buy them, which is kind of strange. And I kind of am mentally agreeing with that statement, but not really saying anything about it. But anyway, let's not talk about the original because we're supposed to be all happy. Or something. I don't even know. Yeah, I'm just trying to have a positive attitude. And then I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm using a flying type here when I have 3 water types that would be perfectly eligible to defeat that Ninetales there. Who knows what my reasoning was, but yeah, and yeah, sheesh, there's a lot of stuff around here. I would use repels, but honestly, if I did that, then I would do too badly to ever, survive anything. And then I'm like, oh crap, that self-destructor thing is already, yeah, that almost killed me, which is crazy. To just one attack almost killed off one of my Pokemon just in a random battle. No significance at all. Not even that difficult of an opponent. It was a fine line. And only the Hyper Potion is keeping me going right here. And yeah, usually when I have an near the death situation, or what I consider one, it's kind of on the full team scale on a really ridiculously hard battle. But that's just one Pokemon, and it's in a not very difficult situation. So there's kind of a contrast there. But then I'm like, ha ha ha, I was flying in the air and you self-destructed. Ah, you suck. And I'm like, okay, I guess I have to use this. Do I have to... And then I get all confused about which thing I was supposed to be going into, because I was like, wait a minute, didn't I already go into 2 different areas? And the truth is, yes, I did, because the 2 parts of that area on the right actually dump you on different spots. So I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I've already tried both of them. And the reality is that going down here will actually take me to yet a third area, which is right here. And then I fight this guy, and I'm like, oh crap, that thing is definitely going to explode on me. So let's use fly and hope it does that while I'm up in the air. And I predict correctly, of course, because I'm ridiculously awesome like that. And I'm like, ha 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 ha, Electrode, you are a robot. Beep, beep, beep. Anyway, Mr. Twister. Okay. So yeah, that's that battle. And then I'm going, why does everything in this area use self-destruct? And basically everything in it is like a cliched thing that you typically think of using it. And I'm like, okay, now I'm really getting kind of lost. But oh, I remember it now, because that way leads straight back outside, and then that shutter over there will lead me to something else. Except I don't ever... Wait, yes I do. I do go through the shutter in a minute. Or do I? I don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I'm not going to use the full heal on the letdown here, because obviously the letdown needs it. I obviously don't... I was going to use a pronoun there, but I actually forgot what gender she was. Sorry. But yeah. And then I start remembering things about this area, and I avoid that trainer because I don't really feel like fighting him at this particular juncture, but there's going to be a wild thing to, make that harder. And then I think this is where I, for whatever reason, decide to use a super potion instead of a hyper potion again, and well, not just a super potion, two of them. That's kind of weird of me. And then I think I still haven't used that last super potion, and I've just been using hyper potions ever since. So yeah, I have no clue what I was doing. Man, the level difference here is ridiculous, but it's pretty much what you have to do, because Koga's team is a lot harder than, oh, let's go in here and feed a bunch of wild Pokemon. And yet it's a requirement. You know, you have to beat all these wild Pokemon in order to... No, you have to beat Koga, the hard thing, in order to get to this easy stuff where all these wild Pokemon are, because of the surf requirements. So that is kind of annoying. And I'm going to use yet another full heal. And another hyper potion. And I have to say, I'm glad that I use all of these, that I have bought all these items, because I've been going through them like crazy, and I basically... Oh wait, I already told you about how I learned how to use a lot of items in this Nuzlocke, and then I got used to it in black and white. And right here, I'm trying to figure out what to use my thing on, and I asked Top for advice, so that's why I'm just kind of sitting there. I'm waiting for him to give me a response, and he says Tangela on that. I'm like, okay, I can believe that Tangela would learn some pretty good special attacks. So then I move right on to Iron. And I'm like, what should I use that on? And I can't remember what we ended up using it on, actually. Wait, I think I do. But I'll sit here for a minute waiting for his response and be like, hey, let's entertain people by using a weird cursor movement thing. And then we finally decide on letdown there. So he's going to get more. And this time I actually reason for myself that I should use it on Stalker for this HP up. And finally we're going to use the Carbos, and I have my own reasoning again. Wait, no I don't. I ask him for advice again. And we both kind of decide on together, actually, because it's kind of a... It seems kind of like it would be fairly slow, but okay. So that being finally done, I don't do any more of that around here, so now I realize that I have to go back and go into this other area, and I'm like, oh wow, I started to remember this. I'm like, it's Ditto. Don't psych me out like that, Ditto. And then it makes a Ditto noise, and I'm like, Ditto, and I don't even know what the Ditto noise actually sounds like at all. And now I'm really trying to make lots of great Pokemon voices, but I can't remember what the one that I was trying really hard to make was. But I will just figure that out as I was going. Oh yeah, this is the part where I'm like, oh, this is what Raticate's voice sounds like. And this is mine, Raticate. And that's just a really lame joke, but I still like using it, and this probably will not be the last time I do use it. I'm like, wild Pokemon right before I get to the secret key. What the crap, man? I'm running out of PowerPoints for both of Letdown's moves. Although she is so much higher level than the rest of my team, then that maybe I should stop that. And then I realized, now, right around here, I'm like, wait, why am I not just using an escape rope? Yeah, maybe I should use an escape rope. Okay. Well, let's just run for this battle and then use an escape rope. Do I even have an escape rope? Yes, I have a bunch of escape ropes because I always buy a bunch of supplies. I've been buying bunches of supplies constantly for, like, the last few games I've gone through. Well, not the last few games I've gone through. That would suggest that I've gone through a bunch of games in the middle of this Nuzlocke, which would be kind of ridiculous. But, yeah, ever since about, I'd say about 10 episodes ago, I've started working on that kind of stuff. And alright, this is where I start thinking about, oh, what should I have my team be for the gym? And I decide that I'm going to go off towards the Seafoam Island and be on the route there and use Dragon Rage, because I'm sure that's probably the best way to do that. And I'm like, oh crap, I ran into a trainer. Alright, I guess I will destroy this trainer. So yeah, I don't know why I didn't speed this part up at all. I don't know what goes through my head sometimes, but yeah, there's a pretty ordinary trainer. Nothing special here. Just powering through it. And then I'm like, wait, am I even on a route that's separate from the ones I've been on? And I'm like, yes, I am. So I'm gonna swim around. And I'm like, why am I not running into anything? What will I run into? And I'm like, Tentacool. Tentacool. I don't even know how to do a Tentacool voice, but I keep trying. Tentacool. Actually, I didn't keep trying, but now I'm going to keep trying. Tentacool. I think that's how it goes. Tentacool. And what am I doing? Okay. Whatever. And since it's only like level 10, I don't think it would be ridiculous for it to have 40 HP, so I don't even use Dragon Rage. I just go straight for the Ultra Ball. And this is where I'm saying that I used to think that the catch rate was affected by the Pokemon's level, which that makes sense. It makes sense why I'd think that. But I know now that it's not. So even though it's only level 13, and I'm using an Ultra Ball on it, that even though that seems like a ridiculous contrast, I don't really know anything. So right now I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should have named this Sneezier instead, but instead I'm just going to make say something related to the word cool, and I'm having kind of a writer's block moment here. So I'm just going to finally give in and be just like, oh, let's name it this. This isn't really much of a joke, but oh well. And that's about all I'm going to get to say for now, so see ya next time.